9, 5, 0.
Welcome to the 950 Lounge Show, hosted by Kevin KP Pryor, the LeBron James of the radio game, the amazing Steph Pearl, the extremely hilarious Rodeo, Mike the moderator, and of course, Backstage Ed. You are listening to the best team in radio. And now I present the 950 Lounge.
We're back on the Ride 950 Lounge, still joined by the best team in radio, and we have a young lady, we have a star in the building, and I mean the word star. She sees it from a straight perspective, from a Zen Z viewpoint, which I think is important, but I really wanted to bring her on here today just because I want to appreciate this young lady, humanize her, and let you know that she's somebody just like you, and if you really pay attention, you can learn something before it's done. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 950 Lounge and her maiden voice, the lovely, super talented Miss Ariana Jasmine. Welcome to the show, darling.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here, so I appreciate it.
We are excited to have you as well. And
now she's a baddie.
Well,
Thank you.
I
do actually try to be a baddie.
Don't say that to rodeo.
Her hair slicked back for
because if you got a flat screen bigger than 55 inches in your home, he might be knocking at your door. But
she's a baddie.
Thank you enough for coming, Ariana. I am a fan of your content. I'm somebody who watches a lot of your TikTok and Instagram and really gets something from it. I like to think I'm kind of a quasi person to know, but again, a lot of things I gain from you, and I know, like, obviously, it's been, this is real life for you. What's going on, because it's your homeland, and I respect that. But I also wanted to bring you on, talk about that a little bit, but just because, again, you're somebody I think who puts a lot of work and energy into what she does. You respect your craft, and that's something we do here. So I wanted to just have you on us to kind of talk about that. I think sometimes people look at people and don't really give it a chance to marinate. They'll just say, oh, you talking about that? No, but if you hear what she's saying, you don't have to always agree with everything, but respect where it's coming from. Respect the passion and the energy that's put into it. So I just want to say that to you first and foremost.
Well, I really appreciate you for listening to my videos and actually watching. It means a lot. I come off kind of aggressive and angry. I can't tell you how many times I've met people at events and they're like, wait, you're actually really pleasant to be around.
Right.
You're not yelling. And I'm like, well, yeah, I don't.
It's a time and place for everything.
Right.
Right. Yeah. And unfortunately, my time and place is always in front of the camera in front of thousands of people. But I really appreciate it because this allows me to speak to you guys one-on-one and kind of give a new perspective to who I actually am 99% of the time when I'm not in front of the camera and talking about politics.
Now, born and raised in the Bay, California.
Born in New Mexico, raised in
Born in New Mexico. Wait, Albuquerque?
Albuquerque, yeah.
Albuquerque, New Mexico. And then I obviously spent time in California, young Ariana. Talk about growing up in California at a time where, especially Northern Cal, had gone through a major metamorphosis, which is still continuing today. A lot of we see it in New York and Brooklyn, people getting put out of their homes, but a lot of that was happening in the Bay over a decade ago.
I mean, it's so multi-tiered. I moved to the Bay Area when I was 3. I've been there ever since. And, 9/11 happened when I was in kindergarten. So that was a whole thing.
Right.
My parents put me in this mosque that kind of worked as a hybrid K through 6 school. Mm-hmm. And they pulled me out after 9/11, 2 weeks after they put me in. 9/11 happened. And they were scared for their lives. Our neighbors got hate crimed. And so they were like, we're never talking about Islam again. And they never did. And then in middle school, I moved back to Iran for a year. So I went to school there in 8th grade, came back. Eventually, my parents both got pushed out of the Bay. My father was forced to buy a house in Tracy because he couldn't afford it anymore. My mother lives on the outskirts of the Bay now. Mm-hmm. It's just, it just kind of got to the point where gentrification completely changed San Francisco. I was able to live in Oakland because I've been very blessed with my platform, but even Oakland has changed
Oakland's not what it once was. Yeah,
it's not anymore. We were just talking about it before the show started, and so it's sad. It's sad because I feel like a piece of the Bay Area really changed into this corporatized, almost soulless version of
Damn those Warriors for leaving.
Now, it's interesting because you're explaining to us a little bit about how your parents, told you cannot say that you're this or practice this anymore, right? How did that mold you as a woman, and growing up and trying to make your way through your life? How did that change your mental aspect?
That's such a great question. I think that my lived experience was really what propelled me into my platform, and that was a part of it, right? I think growing up with two Middle Eastern Muslim immigrants, I'm Iranian, I was taught, be quiet, just be good. Be good, get good grades, go to school, the American dream will be handed to you. And so that's what they did. They were both the good immigrants on paper, right? They never got even a parking ticket. They worked their jobs. They paid their taxes every year. My father came down with stage 4 cancer, was forced to Uber with a chemo pouch on his stomach.
Wow.
Until the day his liver gave out, which was last year. He passed away.
My
mother, thank you. My mother was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer 7 years ago. She got fired. She had United Healthcare. They refused to pay for her mastectomy. She was forced to move back to Iran to get her chemotherapy. We thought she went into remission. She came back. They had missed her cancer growing in her spine, and she came back down with stage 4 cancer. She's still fighting it to this day. I, to some degree, blame that on the American healthcare system, because I believe that if she would have been treated in America, she wouldn't have, had that. And so this dream that they sold me the house of cards came falling down pretty quickly.
Right.
And they kind of built this really angry, almost fire inside me, which is what propelled my platform, because that's almost like my angry alter ego. It's like, you guys all told me this is what I would get if I did everything right. I watched both of my parents lose everything. I thought my mother's biggest battle, and my father, quite frankly, their biggest battle was going to be chemo. It was not. It was keeping a roof over the head, over their head. It was putting food on the table. It was being able to put clothes on. My father shouldn't have to Uber 14 hours a day in San Francisco, driving 3 hours, driving back into Tracy, into the suburbs, just to be able to pay for a mortgage, for a roof over his head. And so that was when I was like, okay, we got all this money for the wars, but we have no money for the poor, which is what Tupac said. I come back to that every single time. And I'm like, if we have $50 billion to bomb, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss, but if we have $50 billion to bomb the shit out of Iran, and you're telling me you have no money to be able to put a roof over my father's head. I have to get an attorney to fight for my mother to get, Social Security disability. You got me fucked up. This isn't right. And so that's what propelled my platform.
Well, you have a voice that a lot of people are yelling on, and that's just half of what's really going on.
Yeah. So obviously, again, like I said, like the old thing, I got a reason to be hostile. People be getting persecuted. I totally respect and understand that. And it's funny because I know you communicate with the mayor a lot, Mandami, and what he just put in place for people being displaced in Brooklyn. Homes are being taken from under people's feet, whatever paperwork that they don't necessarily understand or whatever's going on. And I just think that, it's and I think I mentioned this to you before. When we were talking, like, I think if you chose to go that route, political route, I think you have a powerful voice. I think you're someone who's when you get to know you and speak to, you're personable. You don't bite. Unless you ask somebody to, that's not that type of show. But from a standpoint, you're human. That's why I really wanted to have you on the show, because I just think that it's people get these perceptions of people and they don't really know, and then they see them in different light. Sometimes it's easier to absorb the conversation, and it doesn't have to be a conversation you even maybe agree with. But I've always come from the point of view as a human being, especially with doing this show, that I don't have to agree with everybody somebody says. Let's have a conversation. We're human beings. The difference between us and the animals in the jungle is the ability to communicate. And once we lose that ability to communicate, as Mike always says, the lost art of communication, then we're just like, we might as well be in the jungle. And I think sometimes we watch these videos and we see how some folks are acting, even people we perceive that should be acting a little bit different because they wear shirts and ties or whatever, but it's communication. if we get back to communication, we can all be better. We can all learn from each other. And maybe that's just my little, not being realistic, but I don't care. I'm at a stage in my life where I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to do what I need to do. And if it means planting a seed, if I plant the seed, the tree is going to grow. I might not see the tree get to full bloom, but if I plant it, it's going to start growing. And we have to start planting seeds with our global community immediately, because we're losing that. And I think that's the problem.
I really agree with you. And, I think the year that I lived in Iran, it really made me appreciate the First Amendment, because the way we're sitting here and we can just have a conversation about whatever we want to is not something people in many countries can do. It's a privilege. And I think many Americans do not understand thoroughly how much of a privilege that is. And I do believe that through conversations we can truly understand each other in a much deeper sense, and America allows us to do that, and so don't get me wrong, I got a lot of complaints about this country, but that's one thing I do really appreciate, is that we can have those conversations,
I got
complaints too, girl.
Don't get me wrong.
Rush hour is my complaint.
You will not see me outside.
Nobody's rushing
on 4th of July, but
too much noise. Too many barbecues. No.
Again, we're talking to media extraordinaire Miss Ariana Jasmine, and having all things conversation. Now, again, you're also a graduate of Cal Poly. You didn't know I knew Cal Poly. Like,
St. Louis
how'd you know
yeah.
Cal Poly? I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm international. But talk about the time being at Cal Poly. It's really a school when you think about like those schools in California, San Jose State, and a few others that are kind of in history one of the epicenters. Chico State is another one. Epicenter of movement and political unrest. But talk about your time at Cal Poly.
Oh man, I honestly think within this conversation I'm starting to realize that everything that happened in my life was the perfect storm that led me to my social media content. But I was a community college transfer. There were only a couple thousand out of the many that they accepted.
Where'd you go, to Laney?
I went to Ohlone College.
Okay.
In Fremont. Love Laney, but I was more of an Ohlone girl. I had to commute from Tracy, so
right, yeah, distance.
So, just to give you guys some preface, Cal Poly San Luis Obispo does not. They are the one California State University that accepts the lowest amount of community college transfers, because it's not like high class, upper echelon to accept.
You can say it.
It's not Cal Berkeley, right?
It's not like they have a stature to uphold. And so I believe the stats when I went there, more than 80% of the students came from top 3% families or above, meaning they come from a lot of money.
Harvard.
Yes. I was on the Pell Grant, so I was scraping. I was scraping.
I was a Pell child too. Don't feel bad.
Yeah, I was a Pell Grant kid. So I went there, and my first year, the Lambda Chi did. Sorry, I shouldn't be smiling. Lambda Chi did blackface at a gang themed party. So white boy did blackface. He said that it was. I don't even remember what his excuse was, but the school went up in an uproar. We had more cows than black people at the school, just so you know. In the whole entire city, we had more cows than black people. It was less than 1%. And the black students all stood up. They started protesting. I was right there with them. My best friend and I at the time were on the front page of the newspaper. That was really what kind of propelled me to start really, really, really getting into the weeds of social justice, because I was like, first of all, there isn't that much representation for students of color, more specifically black students, and now you guys are doing blackface. This kid is getting away with it because it's under the freedom of speech, right? Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom of consequences, though.
Correct.
So he ended up changing his name. He had to change his name because we were on Fox News, CNN. And so the next year, the president brought in this, team to do a whole entire analysis on the school. And the analysis came back that it was indeed the school was structurally built to be racist. The city was structurally built to support that racism.
Wow.
And so it taught me a lot. I was in 2 outs, out didn't go back after I was out. I had never felt so othered in my life. It was a great experience. I think it taught me a lot. But like you said, it's always Cal Poly San Luis Obispo specifically has always been at the forefront of something racist every 5 years.
Right.
And I just so happened to be there when it happened. So it did teach me a lot.
But what it does do is it kind of brings home, like you mentioned earlier, about like that quote unquote American dream, right? Sometimes you wake up and go like somebody threw cold water on your face, like, wow, this ain't a great dream. It's a wet dream, and not in a good way. So from a standpoint, right? So from a standpoint, sometimes and again, I mean, just even my background, Rodeo's my brother, and we come from a spiritual family, and a lot of things that my mother tried to make the world about gumballs and lollipops, and it's more move on a stick than it is candy. Yeah. But again, like I said, I think if what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and then when it makes you stronger, you just become better. So
or sicker.
That too. We're gonna take a quick break. I want to take a quick break. I want to come back and talk some more about what's going on with Ariana.
I want to hear the rage.
Well, no, we're not doing that. This is
what you here for.
Quick break. Ariana Jasmine, 950 Lounge. Don't go nowhere. We're back on the ride, 950 Lounge, still joined by the super talented Miss Ariana Jasmine, Northern Cal's finest, now residing in New York. How's New York been? You've been here a year now. I mean, and that's enough time.
You're getting love in New York. You're a baddie.
You been to Harlem yet?
Hell yeah.
Yes, I have a couple of times.
We gotta take you uptown.
Wait, I want to go with you guys.
That's what I'm saying. I ain't just saying no.
We may have to go strap because you are
no,
baddie.
Yo, stop that. Stop.
What I'm saying? Like, somebody look at you the wrong way.
Just because you got on designer don't mean that nobody do that.
Don't violate Ariana.
It's a couple of spots uptown. I ain't gonna mention it. They don't give us no money for marketing. So I ain't mentioning it. Don't say that. Don't worry. Don't worry about that.
Now you have to take me to the rooftop.
Yeah.
What's going on at the rooftop?
Yeah, let's take it to the rooftop.
Oh no, I feel like
well, you go to the rooftop.
Complimentary drink on me.
Listen.
Wait, are you on the day?
Oh damn!
No, Ariana. If he do that, he'll have he'll be coming in with garbage bags and all this designer.
That damn complimentary drink. What you give her?
No, but seriously, you've been here a year, and it's kind of obviously a year. I think for people who relocate, it's kind of enough to kind of find your way and find things. But how has the New York experience been so far?
How they treating you here?
Oh man, how are they treating me?
Getting that love. I know you get an Uber easy, but go ahead.
Let me just say that the men here are.
Go ahead, you can say it.
I don't even know how to describe it.
Just say it.
It's something. I will say I do love the hustle cut.
You didn't even say what the men are. Say it.
Well,
I'm like J.O. Ringo.
If you had
say
a few words to describe men out here,
she'll say
rather
it.
than just one.
Oh yeah, Stephanie's been through the fire.
Garbage.
Through the fire.
It's like it's almost. They think that they're wrapped in Gucci, but it's Gucci from Canal Street.
Say that. That's a bar. Say it again. That's a bar. That's a bar. Applaud that woman.
Telling me.
Great. That's how I feel.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I feel.
That's that's why you're Ariana Jasmine. That's why, because that is a perfect analogy. A lot of these dudes they don't even know how to use a salad fork. But what is a salad fork?
Guys don't know how to do a tie, let alone.
Do you know how to tie a tie?
Yeah, that was the first thing that I had to learn, how to do a tie.
See, they don't make men like you anymore.
I know they.
He's old.
Men want to be
He's old.
princesses.
Oh yeah.
Well, yes, rodeo.
Princesses.
I'm joking. But so New York men have been a problem. What about just some of the culturals? Have you been around? Have you gone to the different Statue of Liberty? Have you seen the naked cowboy here in Times Square? I mean, those type of things.
Oh, I love New York. I know a lot of people who grew up here say that it's gotten very gentrified, but for me, I still see the real parts of New York in areas that I go in. And I know for me, I'm technically by definition a transplant, but it's I feel like you guys have done a way better job at keeping your culture and your communities in a way that it was decades ago.
We just move out. And I'm just playing.
as
Go
opposed
back
to being-
there. You out your mind. I was playing.
Oh man, yeah. I just like San Francisco is not what it was when I was.
I heard it's a bad homelessness out there now.
It's really bad.
You know, I got a really funny San Francisco story. This was 2024, and I was by Chinatown. I just flew in. Me and a colleague, let's go get some Chinese food. It's about 11:30, 12
That's a
o'clock.
rough area.
So it's a little, and so we're walking daytime, lunch, and somebody is just like right popping, and it was like nobody said nothing. People just walking by. This guy's popping
It's
hair
normal.
on his veins. I'm like, what? It's like a movie. But this was in Chinese. Like, yeah, come in. Good afternoon. I'm like, don't you see this guy back to your restaurant? But not popping hair on.
No.
No.
It's different. It's different, and that's the sad thing. Historic. One of the countries. I'm gonna get into news now.
Please
really
go.
quick. So one of the countries that piloted this was Portugal, and they were able to actually completely eradicate their opioid epidemic that they were creating, and it was a housing first initiative where, the philosophy behind it is that it doesn't matter how much treatment, how much food or love you give to a person, it doesn't matter if they don't have a house. Because if they don't have a house, they're going to keep going back.
Right.
And so Portugal put anyone they saw on the streets that it was like, they're shooting or whatever they're doing that's drug related, they hook them up with a social worker and they say, you know what, you're not in trouble, we just want to give you housing. And they did that, and they completely eradicated.
And it also helps with bringing pride back to someone, because everybody who's on the street, and I know people think, get a job, don't get a job. Everybody is not there because they want it.
It's a psychological.
So when you're able to pick up somebody, put them in a home, give them some clean clothes, give them a shower, it provides
Dignity.
Yes, thank you. It provides that. So now you feel good about yourself. I tell people all the time, you see people who just walk the street and throw stuff on the ground. A lot of times, people might do that, but a lot of times people don't have respect because they would do it in their own homes. Once you respect you and the mirror looks good, then hey,
You have a different outlook.
I can help you. If I don't love me, I can't love you. Yeah.
People on narcotics, 'cause I always say narcotics is like a pacifier. When a baby cries, you give it a bottle or a pacifier to calm it down. But eventually that baby going to want that bottle or pacifier again. Same thing. When you're in a bad stage of psychological with your life and everything, you look to something to numb you. And that's what narcotics do. And medication. And that's another narcotic one I don't want to talk about. It numbs you. It numbs you with what's going on around your world. It numbs you basically what's going on in your life. But eventually when you come back down to reality, you right back at the same spot that you previously numbed yourself minutes ago.
Absolutely. I mean, I think back to my mom. There was a point, because my mom's had cancer for 7 years. There was a point where we could not find her any affordable housing anywhere, and we were applying all across the Bay. And there was one point where I was like, "Where the hell is our mom gonna?" My brother and I, we were scrambling, and we were like, where the hell is mom gonna live in the next month? And this is a woman who has chronic pain, refuses to take opioids. So let's say she was also hypothetically on opioids as well, because she does have stage 4 cancer. It's pretty standard for someone at her stage to be on opioids and be addicted, although she's not, she refuses to. So what if I think about my mom, and it's like, well, what if she did end up on the street? Like, what if that one affordable housing unit didn't call her the day before she almost ended up houseless? What's the difference between my mom and someone else I see shooting up on the street?
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that's kind of why my heart aches for, every single time they try to build a shelter or affordable housing in San Francisco, these rich people in the area all start a GoFundMe. They all get $50,000, $60,000, and they threaten the city council to sue them. And then every single time it gets dropped within days, because these rich folks say, well, you can be homeless, but not in my backyard, not in my community. And it's like, well, you came here and you gentrified. You came here and you kicked people out of their housing. You drove up the prices of the housing, and now you have the audacity to be fundraising thousands and thousands of dollars within the span of a couple of days. And this has happened multitudes of times, where you're like, you know what, not in my backyard, go me right. Quote, homeless somewhere else, right? And it's and that's where that privilege, and this is my Subway hot take, not all gentrifiers are white, because there's a lot of gentrifiers in San Francisco, and some of them are not white.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we
Yeah.
we have to have this conversation of class disparity, not just color, class. Because when you have money and you switch up, I don't see much of a difference between you as a multimillionaire and a white person as a multimillionaire.
Right.
You guys are both multimillionaires walking the same
In the
walk.
same boat, same
So-
boat. Again, we're talking to Ariana Jasmine, getting on some great conversation on a lot of different pieces. You're a young girl. You're still very young. Younger than him.
Why you
So,
laugh? Be
when it-
serious, man.
Because you're catching strays out here.
That's normal. That's normal. I'm surgical with this thing. That's normal. But you're someone who has a voice. You've lived this. And when I look at some of your contemporaries, it seems like, and you mentioned the word numb. It seems like they go through this metamorphosis where it's about, what's Cardi B wearing today, and what's the other one? Lotto, pregnant by somebody. And I see with you, you bring that real. Are you finding it difficult, or maybe you're not? Please educate me when it comes to people, that young Gen Z audience, to really look at what's real, because they're changing laws in broad daylight, right? Things are happening. There's used to be things would just be done in the middle of the night or on a weekend or to be hidden. But people are saying things, crazy things right in broad daylight. And I talk to young people all the time, like, do you know what's going on? Please explain that for me, for somebody who's a little bit older that says, some of these young folks, are you getting to them when you speak with that passion? Are they listening?
They are. I would say they are.
Blessing, good.
Well, most of my following is actually Gen Z and young millennial. What I mean by that is from 18 to 30, 35. On Facebook, my following is a bit higher aged. But most of my I will say, though, there's a gender disparity because most of my followers are women. So I do think there's still this huge, and there's been studies about this, about Gen Z men and young millennial men falling into that red pill lane where they consume a lot more conservative content, which is where I think the gender disparity comes in my following. But no, the younger generation is listening, and the younger generation is pretty angry. I would say mostly young, from my experience and my platform, anecdotally, I think that the Gen Z, younger generation, millennial women are the ones that are really listening and getting fired up and stuff.
I mean, so you think you the voice of the young people right now? You feel you're a voice for them?
I don't necessarily agree with the framing of your question, because I don't think it would be fair for me to say that I represent all people who are young, because I think young people are not a monolith. Same as Iranian people not being a monolith. Same as Middle Eastern people all not being a monolith. And so I think I can confidently say that I speak for the younger generation that is.
Well, you have
frustrated.
that. You have that best interest. Put it like that.
Yeah, of course. The younger generation that's frustrated, that was promised.
That's that's her people. Huh?
It's okay.
This is live radio.
It's okay. It happens. I think I speak for the younger generation that's, that's frustrated, that's aware, that's following what's happening, and is tired of their tax dollars being spent on stupid shit.
Think about going into politics later on down the line.
Oh man, I was having this conversation with Kevin.
What did she say, Kevin?
Let her tell you. She right here to tell you right
I
now.
don't think that. I mean, if we going. I mean, I've sat here and listened to a fair amount of this here conversation. Let me interject. Number one, I'm going to agree with you. I don't think you are a voice of young people. I think that with youth comes an ability to exude energy that is non-depressive in a youthful state. There's a saying, youth is wasted on who? The young, right? Because there's a level of energy that comes with that package that allows you to do things. You've managed to channel a segment of it. You've also managed to use articulation, right? So now let's construct you. By constructing you, we can deconstruct the issues that we have. You have articulation. right? The ability to articulate. It doesn't have to necessarily be the most advanced grammatical foray. I'm not asking, do you sleep with toothosauruses underneath the pillow at night? I'm not asking you that. But you possess an ability to articulate where you know what, you have a whole bunch of people of all age ranges, all ethnicities, genders, however you want to define it, whatever the law says or people feel, whatever. I'm not getting into that, right? So you have an ability to articulate their sentiment. That covers black, white, male, female, 18 to 35, 36 to 48, 52 to 61, and then Charles and my parents' age, right? So you have all that, you have that whole dichotomy covered, right? None of them, few people in that diaspora that I just mentioned look like you, have your experiences, and they're not in your age bracket. But the effectiveness of your energy that comes from your youth allows you to resonate with segments of them that have an inability to resonate. That is most likely why you have the advanced following that you do. What I think I really enjoy is how you have managed to operate functionally in the midst of the blackface scandal at San Luis Obispo, which I remember quite very well, right? Your time going back to the homeland of Iran, and please, I want to make sure I pronounce it correctly out of respect, right? Come back here, deal with the capitalistic manipulation of healthcare in America to see someone who's worked hard and deserves the care not get the care for whatever multitude of reasons and have to go somewhere else to receive care of a, let's just say it, a lower standard to have the results that it has such yielded. Your ability to not meet political stereotypical constructs, voicing how you feel is not being angry. The angry that people want to tab to expressing discomfort and disrespect are often lumped together, but they're truly not the same. So the ability to manipulate well, articulate even better in such constructs, still keep a smile on your face, which is totally offensive to many angry people because their anger runs deeper than just 3 feet to 6 feet. They got 12 feet worth of anger and think that 3 feet worth of smile is supposed to resolve. I believe the late Malcolm X had a speech that was, you can't hate the root and love the tree, right? And many of us want to treat our pain or want to allow people to box our pain as being a tree, not realizing there is miles of root of hurt, but yet and still, for the purposes of whatever reason, we move forward. So I would say you are a voice of the youth. However, youth not being defined chronologically. That'd be my humblest of opinions.
I think that was beautifully said.
That's why he's the voice of God here.
Mike
This
the
is Mike moderator.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Now you know why we call him
he's
the moderator.
sitting in the corner quietly, really just taking everything in.
That's how.
and then
That's
giving out
Mike. That's
gold.
Mike's.
I
Right. So you
appreciate
see, if
it.
you was in a dark room, Mike said, "Are you alone, young lady?" You'd be like, "I'm a baddie, Mike."
You trying to have me under the prison? Like my parents gonna come see me and they're gonna be like, nah, he not in here. You gotta go out back and go down the stairs. He's on the side by the
I tell
When
you.
Andy Dufresne came out. He over there.
The beauty of the dichotomy of 950, from the elegant words of Mike Moderator to the silly satire of rodeo.
No.
You can't make this up.
In a
Can't
dark
make
room,
this
you'd
up.
be like, "Are you alone?" Like, who the hell is that?
We got a few minutes left, and Ariana, thank you so much. I would love to have you back because I think as
love
the
to be
world
back.
starts to keep changing and evolution, I think again having your having your talk about it is needed. You know, we wanted to use today this to kind of enjoy and let you
Intro.
speak to yourself and do that. But I think again we got some work to do when it comes to really laying the hammer. But real quick before you get out of here, he did mention what we talked about, but when you have a moment, you take that exhale, what is the future? When that thought bubbles over your head, what are things that, educated woman who's seen a lot in her young years, what's the next step for you if you can write it out?
She's smiling.
'Cause I know you know it.
I've been asked by many people to run for office, and I've had the same answer for every single person. When I'm around 40 to 50, you're either gonna see me running for office or in a random suburb in Ireland with a bunch of animals in a homestead. I don't know which route I'm going. I'm either falling off the face of earth or I'm actually going to go after it for real. Right now, with the way it's going, it's 50-50. But, you know, I think my power, like you so eloquently put, I think my power is really in storytelling, delivering. I've had many people tell me this, that I can break down extremely complicated news in a way that even someone who doesn't know anything about politics can understand immediately watching my videos.
Yes.
And I think that's really where my power lies, and social media. And I think one of the main points of what I'm doing is staying humble and understanding where my strengths are at. Because anyone can run for Congress. I mean, Dan Bilzerian is running for fucking Congress. Like, be so for real. Any person, any Joe Schmo can run for Congress, right?
Tommy Tuberville is a senator.
Right. Doesn't mean you're cut for it, though. So I'm staying humble. I'm staying true to myself. I think social media is where I'm going to be at, helping politicians really give their messaging on social media. Many more politicians are seeing the strength in social media messaging after Mamdani. So I'm really going to continue to take that route and see where it takes me.
Well, thank you so much again. We
you.
appreciate you. You are now you part of the team. We going uptown. We going uptown to lunch.
Can we please go? I would love to.
Well, you got some
There's a
collard
spot.
greens,
There's a spot. I won't mention names.
collard
It's a
greens,
spot. I
string
think
beans,
you.
ribs.
I think you will love it.
Soul food?
It's a spot. Yeah, soul food. Of course.
yes.
It's a
Oh
spot
my God, I love
uptown.
soul food.
We gonna set it up, and we're gonna have Tony take pictures. Watch you eat chitlins. I'm joking. No, not chitlins.
I don't know about chitlins.
No, I'm joking. That was a joke. It was a joke. Laugh
I'll
at me.
have some fried
Ariana.
chicken, though.
Yo, bring me everything in the kitchen, please.
Where can people reach out to you, find more information?
Ariana Jasmine on everything. Wherever you see
Google
fit.
her.
Instagram, TikTok. You can Google me too. Whatever you want.
Ariana Jasmine, thank you so much.
Thank
I
you for
appreciate
having
you.
me, guys. I
Take a
appreciate
quick
that.
break. Best team in radio, streaming TV. You know the name. 950 Lounge. Don't go nowhere. We're back on the ride, 950 Lounge, joined by the best team in radio here at One World Studios. You're looking to do a podcast, explore your horizons in video. Go call my man Wonder, go to One World Studios on Instagram. Tell him 950 Lounge sent you. We have a special guest here, someone who I think the world of. She's been on the show many times, hasn't been on in a while. Travel reasons, but because we're in Manhattan at One World Studios, we eliminated that whole situation. Welcome back, the lovely, super talented of multiple things, and she'll talk about what she's got going on. Miss Ricky Sober. What's going on, Ricky?
Hey, good. How are you guys?
I'm good. Talking to the mic. Ricky, talking to the studio. I know it's been a while.
I forgot. Yeah, it's like, hi.
You said you're looking for a man.
We'll get to that. We'll get
Off record.
Can we just at least say hello? How she doing? So we're gonna get
That's how
to
he
that.
drives. He just cut people off.
But Ricky, welcome back again.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. It's again when you came on years ago, you was doing the comedy thing. A very talented person.
I was energetic then. I remember.
Yeah.
I was so
Yeah, it made
happy.
you seem like dog years. I was energetic 25 years ago.
I was,
like,
yeah.
Oh, that was when your heyday, Rodeo. It was your heyday. But now you're doing other things. Talk about what's going on.
So I quit comedy after about 12 years. And that was funny.
You was good.
I have videos that show that I was funny. So I didn't quit because I felt like it was just not really producing the money I wanted to make.
Was it all financial?
No. The COVID hits, and then I was just like kind of doing Zoom shows and wanted to kill myself slightly, because they're like, put everyone on mute, so you don't even know if they're laughing.
Right.
And that died really quickly, and because you don't even know if you're bombing or not, you're just
Right.
kind of like. Doo-doo-doo. Anyway, so my ex-roommate was a tour guide, and he's like, hey, here's a script, learn it, do it in your language to your people. And then I started doing tours like after COVID, start making some money, and then I started bringing a camera, and then I made like photo tours, and then I'm only taking
entrepreneur.
photos. Yeah. Now I'm just a photographer mostly. Yeah.
No, I hear you. I listen. I've seen your comedy, and I totally understand why you made the move. But certainly, I think you're phenomenal. I mean,
I appreciate it. I had fun.
I think
It's
the
like
world
riding
can
a bike.
use you again.
You never outgrow it. It's still there in case I need to grab that mic again.
Listen, but that's the thing. Like when I did tours, I had like 20 people, so you still kind of have a crowd. You know what I mean?
Right.
You do some crowd work, and there's always people that are gonna ruin the show because they have no sense of humor. So, you know what I
You
mean?
gotta watch. Some people just take things too personally.
It's
So
tough.
it's like You gotta watch what you say. You say something about the LBB, what JK, whatever the hell they are.
Rodeo don't get us in no trouble.
No, I don't listen. It got too many
Right, that
syllables.
don't get us in
I'm
no
But
trouble.
it's just like, what do you know? You should be able to say everything, but you
sorry.
don't feel
It's
like
a
you
comedy
can.
show. Would you come? You come to laugh or
Exactly.
you come to
Judge.
Yeah, it's a comedy show. This
Yeah.
ain't no court of law.
I ain't Professor Griff. But you're here, Ricky, for our question today.
Yay.
And the question today is presented by the good people at Moderated. What's your organization?
Sound Parlor Radio, ladies and gentlemen,
You right on cue. There you go.
where we keep it nice and smooth.
There you
24
go.
hours
The
a day.
good people at
That's nice.
Sound Parlor Radio again. And what's the where they can reach out to tickets?
www.soundparlorradio.com.
There you go. Sound Parlor Radio, where we'll get Ricky Sober back doing comedy. That's my goal in 2026.
Okay, what's a big goal?
No doubt. Exactly. I go after big things, you know. If you want to show big ships, got to go where the water's deep. Okay. So today's question of the day, and have you heard a situation that's going on with Mike Brable and Diana Rossini, the football coach that was involved with a sports reporter who actually calls on the NFL, and they got caught in Arizona. They're both married. And then,
Oh, the married.
yeah, they're both married, and
Okay.
they got pictures of them. They think the wife's husband, who's an exec with Shake Shack, hired a PI and found these people at a remote location. But it made me start to think. And the question today is loyalty still valued the same way today? Do we still have loyalty in relationships? Ricky Sober, your thoughts?
I don't know if I completely understand the situation. Is it the couple that was caught? Where that Oprah's like interviewing this lady?
No,
now?
not her. That was the Coldplay concert. This one has happened maybe a couple weeks ago.
It's similar.
But forget they're very similar. But forget that. Just from a standpoint in relationships, right? We see people are not always forthcoming when they get in a relationship and seems to be cheating or I don't know the word cheating, just not really happy with the person they're with, and loyalty is damaged. My question is loyalty still valid in relationships today? Like, do you get with somebody and realize, you know what, I got to give him 3-4 chances because he's going to screw up eventually? Or do you say, hey, you know what, no, if we're going to be together, we have to be loyal. You mentioned about your relationships or not, lack thereof.
Right. Yes.
But from a standpoint, is loyalty still something that matters in relationships in 2026?
I think at this point it's like what's on the line, right? If I'm young, 26 or 31, and we're dating, and then you went with another girl, peace. Like we have nothing, but if we have kids, we have a house, we have all this, and we've built a life together, right?
Right.
People are 20 years together, and you actually have that connection, and you know that it's just slipped. Then yes, but for me, I know it's almost impossible to trust a person again. So now you have that relationship that is just not healthy.
economic.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean, you know,
equity.
Beyonce and Jay-Z, she's not gonna. He went with the girl with the good hair. She didn't. You know, Beyonce didn't go anywhere. She can't. They're an industry. She can't break up with Jay.
Right.
So with Jay.
Cheated because she has good hair, boy.
I heard Stephen A. Smith say the other day, and he was talking about that's what held him from getting married, is because of today's world of the business side of marriage, right? Yeah, you can love somebody,
Yeah.
you can even be monogamous, but you just mentioned somebody does something to you, and you have papers. It's hard to get away, you know. It's
You signed a prenuptial.
well, but still, you sign a prenup. Somebody's still walking away with a parting gift. You're not walking away with just
but
a
the only
garbage bag on
sign-
your
That's
shoulder.
if they sign.
If that's if they
Right?
sign,
Steven
right.
Jackson fiance ain't signed, and
And
you
he
see how
didn't
that
have
is.
Or Dak Prescott in his
Right.
situation. So, what about you, Steph Pearl? Do you believe loyalty matters, or is it like Ricky said? If you're like 10 years in the game, and it's like, so well, you know, he fell into something, or you know, Humpty Dumpty, do you leave, or do you, because he broke the bond, you know?
Loyalty matters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that because, you know, I've been there, I've done that. A lot of women have. And we've all suffered many broken hearts, right? But,
I'm just thinking about Kendrick
would-
Lamar's song, Loyalty.
oh my God. But I think the main thing is that if we don't choose to leave relationships that end with like disrespect, then we're just teaching other women or men, right, to stay in relationships that are toxic and unhealthy. Unless the couple can work things out and the man proves to the woman or the woman proves to the man that they can change, maybe a different story, different outcome. But I think that by staying in something for like the children or staying in something that we know is not good for us mentally, and with that we have to deal with it for ever and ever and ever till that person croaks. You know, like it's just teaching people that it's semi okay to deal with that for the rest of your life. I think it's important for people mentally to heal, right? And move forward. I don't think I could ever handle someone who has completely left me for another woman, right? And then come back home to me. One, there's STDs, right? You know, you
there's so
gotta
many
be
things.
tripping. You know,
Unacceptable, yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be tripping in order to come back home and think that it's okay to slip right into your relationship and disrespect the person you're with even more.
With that being said, moderator, mistakes happen, right? None of us are above the covenant of Christ. We make mistakes. We're human.
I agree.
Sound like
No,
your mother.
right? No, I got it.
And mine too, for that matter.
Right? Yeah. Well, good. Thank you, Mama Pryor.
I'm glad he put Christ.
Her
into it,
birthday's
you know,
Wednesday.
man.
So-
Anytime man make him say, "Oh," he said, "What would
No,
God
but
do?"
Hear me out, Rodeo. So, Mike, I want to go to you on this real quick. What Steph was mentioning about, again, you know, the audacity of somebody doing something and trying to come back. But what about if that was a mistake? Let's say that person went on a business trip, things just got out of hand.
Well, that's why I was saying, unless two people could really come together and work it out, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be really tough, especially for a woman.
Let's get a man's perspective. Go ahead, moderator.
Let me start this by saying that the views and opinions that I'm about to express are simply mine, me, myself, I, us three, nobody else.
Thank you. No,
And
you
not
can still support the
necessarily
machine.
Right. So let me make sure I preface that. Here's the problem with loyalty. The search therefore or the lack thereof is that loyalty is subjective, right? What I define as loyalty might not be what somebody else defines as loyalty. The start point of where loyalty should start in a relationship, where I feel it may start, may be different for somebody else. That's number one. Number two is we as people, as individuals, have to like wipe the fog from our eyes, as hard as that is from the beginning, because the truth of the matter is the beginning oftentimes will tell you everything you need to know about this record. I am a classic jazz fan. Pre-1973 Grover Washington Jr. Mr. Magic, which is the turning point. That's another story, right? So I'm a fan of the 17-minute long 2 songs on one jazz
Bleak
record,
Gilliam.
right? I don't care how many movements or changes, for those who are in the music, go on in between this here song. How it starts, it always comes back to that when it ends. So if you perceive what to you is moderately shady in the beginning, and you're at a point where you think you should address it. Because if not, because if he's out on a date with you and he signs the receipt a little extra slower just so that waitress can stand here a little while longer, then 3, 7, 9 months into your relationship, 1.5 years, 2 years and 23 days, that behavior has already been there. Don't be surprised now when somebody you know saw him in the motel lobby with some other chick waiting for a room. That ain't on him. That's on you. Never mind. We ain't gonna go there on that one. But that's on you. So I think that the loyalty aspect is subjective, and if we address certain things in the beginning, we wouldn't have some of the issues we have and some of the real bad acid reflux from previous instances later on down the
So
road.
you're saying in so many words that if this is how you get down, let's just be upfront in the beginning before we take this bunny hop together.
Right. Ask that disturbingly, disgustingly uncomfortable question in the beginning, where if the person gets offended and walks out, ain't nothing harmed. I've only known her for 23 minutes. So if by minute 40 we kind of enjoying this conversation and you ask something that may appear a bit off kilter, then you know what? so be it. If we decide that you don't like my answer to the question, who's hurt when we get up and leave? Nobody. Now you go 6-9 months down the line, find out he got 3 other women, 2 other wives, and 4 other names, and 3 other social security cards. That's kind of on you.
Right. Ricky, to what moderator said as the great line, you can't handle the truth, or do women want to know that much information in the beginning? Or is there a situation where, hey, listen, let me woo me a little bit. Let me get to like you before, you start telling me, the good, the bad, the ugly. So is he right? Is Mike right from a standpoint, give it to me straight? Again, you're still a young woman, but you're not 15. So from a standpoint, give it to me straight, or do you want to be wooed a little bit before you get to all that information?
It's very specific what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
he's a direct
also,
individual.
We're also talking about men cheating. So we're not talking about women cheating.
Talking about
because
everything.
That's a whole nother different.
You
I
can talk
think-
about women cheating too. You can generally.
I think in general, for what you were talking about, if I'm 42, so I have intuition now. I can see a player a mile away. Okay, do I want to just use him for the night? I might.
Yeah, Ricky. Yeah.
But
You're
know what I mean?
jiggling, baby.
I
You're
can,
jiggling.
I can see a player.
Right,
I feel like if women don't know what they have in front of them, they're gonna have to, because it doesn't matter. Listen, I did a guy that I knew for a fact was out there, and I was with him, and then every time, I found out and broke my heart, but I found out, I did it over and over again. So women need to feel pain, and like they're losing very expensive years of their life to be like, okay, you need to be out of my life. If someone they're really in love with, or if it's in the beginning, if you catch it in the beginning, like run. If you're in the mid and you're in love, then you're fucked. You know what I mean? That's really hard.
You
Also,
invested.
yeah, when you're young, it's really hard. Now I'm like, see ya. There's no way. Like, no, too many girls, too many social, to all this mess. No, you be a grown up, or we don't. Like, why?
Is life at a point now where you just want the hot pocket and like, well, you know what? Give me a little head and a whole lot of freedom, like how some men used to approach it? Because I know a lot of women are now approaching it that way, where they're just like, you know what? I'm done with all the games. I'm done with all the issues. I have needs too. Let's be respectful. Don't just take me to White Castle. We want you as a sponsor. But just, feed
I like
me.
White Castle.
No, I'm not eating that though. But no disrespect to you guys. But feed me, engage in me, have a good time, and let's enjoy one another. Or is it a situation where it's got to be that relationship? It's got to be that one-on-one, indulging before I, want to be involved with you in multiple faceted ways.
I think women always want to be in a relationship. I don't know what it is. Am I right? What do you think?
I think so.
I think we're always looking. We're always trying to
Safety,
find
maybe?
potential.
A woman wants to have somebody they could look to, especially when they going through, when things are going
But what
good.
about some? I guess it's a new age of women out here.
Well, when things
that
are
are
going
professional
good, you don't
women.
really
No,
need
what?
nobody. When
No,
things
but-
are going left.
No, but
you looking for
that's human
somebody.
beings, right?
Well,
We all
yeah, but
covered.
That's what the question.
It's,
But-
so it really depends on which stage in the life. So right now, okay, my life right now, if I have a man in my apartment, you got to bring some serious value, because I live alone, Lower East Side, okay? I have a really nice apartment. I make enough money to travel 4 times a year, okay? I go with myself. I have no friends to go with. I do everything on my own. I cook. I clean for myself. I go work out.
The question Rodeo will want to know, Ricky,
You're not gonna
size
elevate
of the
my
flat
life?
screen? What? No, I'm asking you. What's
What, sorry.
the television? What size of the
Do
screen?
you have a TV?
Oh, no, I have. It's 85 inch.
Oh, he sold for sold 85.
You're gonna be at the door like the paper. You'll be laying at the door like the paper.
Enough with this interview. It's done.
So basically, what you're saying is that I don't need no man if he ain't coming correct.
I don't need no man to slow me down,
Right.
to be like, I want to sit at home. I need a man that's going to want to take me out. They're going to show me the world, teach me something new. And I do, so I enjoy dating Latinos, for example, because I like the Spanish culture, for example. I don't want to be...
Vida la loca.
I do.
You,
But
you
again,
like the bodega? Like, hey, mommy, no, come over here. I got
bodega
something for you.
is more like...
Beneke.
I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, now, when I was in my 30s, like, let's go out, have a dinner, have sex, go home. But now I need a travel partner, someone who, like...
Show me that you worth this cookie.
Yeah, because otherwise I
my
like
gosh.
living alone. And I sleep, I wake up whenever I want. Men sleeping late, then you gotta be quiet. You know what I mean? They leave the toilet seat up. They leave their... they're messy. No, seriously, man. And New York, I don't live in a giant
Blow
house
up
where I
your
can be
back
like,
wall
you
on
do
the
you.
toilet.
I do me. Like, we're in a hut that I can
Right.
see and feel and hear everything you're doing. So, yeah, you either
So
bring
he's
some value.
constipated. Ugh, I hear that.
Yep. Is that Rick? You gotta leave. I'm like, where am I gonna go? I live here. You know? Do you understand? Like,
Right.
Leaving his drawers
I
on the
get it.
floor. Yeah, all the things you hate. Yeah, I get you.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. But again, we're talking to Ricky Sofa, single Jewish woman.
Exactly, yeah, but that's also why I'm single. Cause like, okay, Rick, that's why you're by yourself. I'm like, yeah. What do you want me to do? To just be with a guy? And I've been with a guy for 3 years, and he just sat on the couch. He went to sleep at 4. And girl, he slept. He would go to sleep at 4, not because he was busy. He was watching Netflix. Okay, wake up at 3. Meanwhile, my dog is chewing the whole
So he
house.
didn't have a job.
He had a job for 3 hours a night, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, he made money. He saved so much money living with me, and yeah, but
we ain't gonna ask what kind of job it is.
no, but I'm saying like we had a good relationship, but he was just keeping the couch warm.
Seems
And-
like the men seem to benefit off the woman.
Exactly.
I think that's why perspective more the common denominator with perspectives, both male perspectives and female perspectives, is that most of them nowadays are reactionary, right? So women perspectives are the way they are as a direct correlation to the way men have treated them. That's
Exactly.
a reaction.
I agree.
A lot of men are the way that they are because of the way women have been treating them, which is based off the way that men were treating women. Again, reactionary. And every time you roll the reactionary loop over again, it picks up a fresh set of lint. So the further we roll this log down the street or this snowball, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, which is why there is no one specific answer for every one specific question, because that snowball that has been rolling is just layers of dysfunction, layers of reaction, layers of on top of layers of on top of layers of. And if we were to split it, it's too time consuming, and some people don't have that. The greatest commodity in life is time, and the older you get, the more you realize you have less in front of you and more behind you. So therefore, and Ricky's a perfect example. Ricky mentioned the 30-year-old her, which had more time in front of her than behind her. So she had a cushion if she wanted to quote unquote waste time. And please don't take that offensive.
No,
I don't
absolutely.
mean that you've wasted time, right? But now she's at a stage where, you know what? There's more rubber to the road. I'm closer to the destination or the terminus, whatever her terminus is defined as. I can't entertain A, B, C, and D. Why? Because if I entertain A, B, C, and D, the time that takes, 11 months with some guy that's useless, is 11 months I could have done this, this, that's this many tours, that's this many hikes, that's this many photos, that's this many new customers, that's this many nights of sleep where I can sleep and not be stressed.
So, Mike, the women like Ricky who are successful, who are single, who are not willing to take the BS. What happens to those women? Do they just decide that, you know what, I'm not? There's plenty of toys out here, or
listen. Here's the uncomfortable fact of this.
Just say it. They die alone.
Survival is not. Survival is not comfortable.
right?
Right. So if I'm trapped, like one of them hiking mountain movies I seen, dude had to cut his arm off to get from between the rocks to climb out of the hole, and he had to cut it basically with a pocket knife. Right? True story.
Yeah.
Right? So that is what survival gives you. Survival is not pretty. Survival does not always have a happy ending. As a matter of fact, rarely as it does. Now, if survivability lends you to a palatable, congestible, amenable ending, then you take that. Is this the perfect scenario? I'm sure younger her would be like, no, I did not want to have one dog, no man here. I'm comfortable with doing life the way that it is. I don't know that most of us who grew up in any certain type of pattern found safety at that time. Here, where we are now, is we acquiesce to what our surroundings, what our experiences have left us with. This is the acquiescence residual. So we decided we had to acquiesce for survival. No one is more important than your mental health. No one is worth the compromise of your ability to sleep at night. No one is worth the time spent in your brain to make you non-functional and unproductive in other aspects of your life. So if I have to proverbially cut my mental brain's arm off for the purpose of survival, I'll do it. Now, while that was a great idea, here I am with one less arm.
That boy's good.
That boy good. That boy good.
I
Basically,
digress.
at the end of the day, that Ricky's tire tread is getting weaker, and she needs
I'd argue
to-
that it may be getting stronger because now
Yeah.
she's walking into her ability to discern circumstances.
She has her zen, right? She
sees what
sees it.
BS
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We got to make. You know what we're gonna do, Ricky? And I'm
Right,
so
Rick?
glad.
You
I'm
can
so
see BS now
Immediately.
from
But
10
also,
blocks away.
that's part of doing comedy. You're on stage, you read people.
see.
You
You're talking about
ain't
comedy
Yeah.
again.
No,
We're gonna get
because
you back
are.
on stage.
You gotta be quick. Tuck, 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 tuck. You
I
know?
got an
Yeah.
idea for Ricky. And,
Please.
and listen, we got an idea. Now I'm glad we've reconnected again. We're in New York, we're in Manhattan now. So here at One World Studios, we ain't got to worry about your travel. We're gonna create a show. We got the camera, we got the studio. We're gonna do a show. We're gonna find 3 eligible bachelors in New York that we're gonna have you look at, and we're gonna do a
Dating
show.
game.
I'm serious. I think it's perfect, Ricky. I think,
Dating
again,
game.
you deserve it. You deserve to be happy and find love and have somebody that can enjoy that 85
Not even love.
flat
Let's-
screen.
let's- like you said, let's go out and break bread and let's see what
I go
happens.
out though and break bread.
She don't need. She
I
can go out and break bread by
I can
herself.
show you all the guys I rejected in the last 2 weeks.
All right,
I'm tired.
break somebody else's bread. That's what I'm saying. Just break
No,
somebody's bread.
listen. We need to help the sugar walls, and we're here to help the sugar walls.
You don't need no
She-
sugar daddy.
No sugar
I know.
walls. I said walls.
You want a sugar daddy?
Nah, I
He
don't.
don't know what that means. That's what I'm saying. He's old. But in any event, we're gonna work on that. But Ricky, I can't. It's great to see you.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you
so
for coming
much.
back. Let's not wait another 7 years,
I know,
8 years.
right?
It's
She
crazy.
said she needs somebody to watch her dog.
Well, we good. The dogs. No, I don't
Nah,
know.
you
One
don't want
might
that
one of them
dog.
might not want the dogs here. I can't say that.
I can speak
But-
for one, no animals.
Yeah, no animals, no
Include
animals.
some of the two-legged ones, but
Yeah.
no animals. Right, one?
But
Yeah,
where
yeah,
can
yeah, he
people
in the back
reach
of the
out
ring.
to you? You do a lot of stuff, photography and things like that. Where can we reach out to you to find more information?
TikTok, Ricky's Walking Tours. That's where I'm at most of the time. Instagram, Ricky Sofer. I don't know. My number 3. I'm kidding.
Oh, you be taking people on tours, walk tours?
So I do photo tours, yeah, in
Oh,
Times
you take
Square.
them uptown to Harlem?
Honestly, I love Harlem. So people.
She's not going to the Bronx. I know that.
I'm not
much.
going to. It's far. It's not because it's the Bronx.
I know. I'm joking. I'm
It is
joking.
filled with Latinos.
One of my
so I'm
first
just-
shows
Yeah,
was
she like the Latinos, right? There you go.
Exactly. And by the way, one of my first show was a Gun Hill and the Gun Hill. Okay.
Yeah, it is Gun Hill Road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It was like 11. Me walking at 9. Like, oh, I'm so fucking cool.
That's where I grew up at, Gun Hill Road. Real talk. I went to Evander Child. So did he. But in any event, Ricky, thank you so much. It's been real
Appreciate
fun. And again, we're gonna take a quick break. Keep this thing moving. You'll see her again. Maybe you might be on the show. Best team in radio. Now I feel I'm not going nowhere.